Let's be real, learning to code is tough. You're going to face hurdles that make you question everything. But what if I told you that those very struggles are actually the secret to becoming a truly skilled, authentic programmer? Today, we're going to walk that path, from dealing with the challenges to really owning your code.
You know that feeling, right? Staring at a screen just full of errors and you feel completely and totally alone in your struggle. Well, I want you to know this. You're not. That feeling is practically a rite of passage. So let's break down the first, and maybe the biggest, trap that so many of us fall into. Okay, so the first major trap is what I call coding in a bubble. It's that natural instinct to just lock yourself away, convinced you have to figure it all out by yourself before you can show anyone your work. But the reality? That is one of the slowest, most painful ways to learn anything. I mean, think about it. It's like trying to learn how to swim just by reading a book. Yeah, you might figure out how not to sink, but your technique is going to be clumsy, and you'll have absolutely no idea if you're actually doing it right. Coding is the exact same way. When you're in isolation, you're robbing yourself of feedback and perspective. So what's the solution? It's simple. Get connected. And listen, it doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. Start small. Organize a study group with some classmates. Then maybe branch out and join a Discord or a Slack community for a language you're trying to learn. Every little connection you make builds this vital support system. And look, this isn't just about, emotional support and feeling good. This has real, tangible career benefits. A recent study found that 54%, that's more than half, of hiring managers believe that junior developers with a strong network have a way better chance of getting hired and promoted. A good network literally gets your foot in the door. Take this story about a student named Christian. He went to one hackathon, made one connection with another developer, and that single interaction, it put his resume right on the top of the pile, pushing him past hundreds of other anonymous applicants. That's the kind of luck you create for yourself when you step out of the bubble. This old proverb just says it all, doesn't it? The world of tech, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Sure, going alone might feel faster at first, but it's the community that gives you the endurance you need to actually finish the race. And that same kind of endurance is absolutely crucial for tackling our next challenge. All right, let's talk about the big one. That little voice in your head that's always whispering, what if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? Man, that fear can be paralyzing. It stops you from starting those ambitious projects or even just applying for jobs you're interested in. But what if we just reframed it? Every single experienced developer out there has a mountain of bugs, failed projects, and broken code behind them. That's the secret. Edison's mindset is everything here. Failure isn't a judgment on you, it's just data. It's a necessary step on the way to finding a solution. And get this. Let this number really sink in. The average entry-level candidate goes through 3 to 5 interviews that do not result in an offer before they land a job. So rejection isn't a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're on the right path. It's a stepping stone, not a stop sign. And a lot of the time, this fear of failure is tied to this beast, imposter syndrome. It's that nagging feeling that you don't really belong, that you're a fraud, and everyone's going to find out. But here's the secret. Almost everyone feels this way, even super senior engineers. Just giving it a name is the first step to taming it. So how do you fight back? Well, you build resilience step by step. You start that project you only feel maybe 60% ready for. You do mock interviews to get used to the pressure. You actually look at what went wrong in a failed attempt, you learn from it, and then you try again. Each one of these steps makes you mentally tougher. That right there, that's the mindset of an authentic programmer. Failure isn't the end. It's a do-over, but this time you're coming back armed with new information. All right, on to our third challenge, and this one is very, very modern. It's the AI temptation. It's that siren song of just letting AI do all the work for you. It's so easy to just ask ChatGPT for the answer, right? But that shortcut can seriously stunt your growth as a developer. You have to understand the distinction here. It's absolutely crucial. As a tool, AI helps you with boilerplate code or gives you a little hint when you're stuck. But as a crutch, it does the thinking for you. And here's the test. If you don't understand why the AI's code works, you're using it as a crutch, period. And this choice, it really puts you on one of 2 very different paths. One path leads to a deep, flexible understanding of programming. The other, it leads to this fragile dependency where you are completely lost the second you're asked to solve a problem on a whiteboard in an interview. So here's the game plan. These are the rules for using AI without shooting yourself in the foot. First, before you even think about turning to AI, give yourself a real chance to solve the problem. Struggle with it for a bit. That struggle is where all the learning happens. And when you do use AI, ask it to explain concepts, not just hand you the answer. I love this analogy. It's perfect. Be the pilot, not the passenger. A good pilot uses autopilot as a powerful tool, sure, but they always know how to fly the plane manually. You have to be the pilot of your code. AI can be your co-pilot, but you must always be the one in command. So we've looked at 3 huge challenges: the isolation, the fear, and that AI shortcut. Overcoming them isn't just about learning to code, it's about shaping your actual identity as a developer. And this is the whole transformation, right here in a nutshell. By fighting isolation and building a network, you become connected. By embracing failure, you become resilient. And by using AI the right way, you become responsible. These aren't just skills you learn. These are the character traits of a true professional. Look, at the end of the day, the languages, the frameworks, the tools like AI, they're all going to constantly change and evolve. The one thing that remains is you, the problem solver, the learner, the collaborator. So the real question isn't just about what you're going to learn, but what kind of programmer you will choose to become.